exciting story it's sad to know that, you know, because of the Indian residential schools, we lost so much knowledge. You know, like my uncle in Hewlett, he was a medicine man, but he would deal mainly with the sports players, the athletes, and they would go see him and he would fix them up. Both my parents went to the residential school in Port Alberta, and my father twice had a needle stuck right through his tongue for being caught speaking his own language. And so you can imagine the impact that had on his life. He wouldn't allow our mother to speak our language in his presence. But everybody else around spoke. You know, I had no choice. I had to be fluent, or else I couldn't communicate. The many abuses that we did suffer created a lot of addictions, because something we learned in court was that you know, the situation with men is exactly the same as it is with women when they are abused. So we suffer the same psychological and emotional impacts. So I don't sleep well, and I listen to CBC radio in the morning. And one morning I listened to Deutsche Welle, and the German men were sitting after their daily walk, and they looked over and saw these Lebanese men and said, I have never ever talked to one of those men. We should invite them on our walk. They did. And it's turned into this wonderful thing over there, where people of all races and ages get together and walk and talk. And stories are healing. And in fact, that was the first statement that really got me and Ansel working together, because we both have a strong belief that stories can be healing. And that's what this whole Reconciliation Commission discovered, was that, yeah, you know, you got to tell the truth, and you got to put the truth out there. Otherwise, you know,
I found one.
All the problems that have arisen from these residential schools. So that's where we are now, like for everybody to learn about First Nations, but from my perspective, it's important for me to learn about everybody else too. That's how we're going to get together. That's how we're going to live in peace, you know, and I'm sure that's what we all want. So
Here, here.
I could go on all day, but I'm going to leave it there.
But this is our passion. This is what brings us together, is that concept of healing. Let's not get lost. Let's go. Yep.
Clean. I'm like, all right, I can do that. But
Of course, they kept putting him down in the census as Big Fred, and so when my dad got married, it asked for the bridegroom's father's name. My dad wrote Big Fred, and then asked for the mother's name, and he put Mrs. Big Fred. But it didn't stop there. You know, my parents, my older sister, they named her Juanita, and when they got the paperwork back from Indian Affairs, it said Anita. And then my mother, being a residential school survivor, was complacent. She said, oh, that's a nice name. And then it happened again with my older brother. She named him Everett Eric. She got the paperwork back, Alvin Alexander. Same thing. She said, oh, that's a nice name.
really
Yeah, so that's the kind of authority we had to live under.
So what do you guys think of all these, what's happening right now?
Oh, yeah, it's a good way to connect and share feelings and opinions, and a good way to for people to come together. Good opportunity, especially with the younger ones. Coming from a country that is not Canada is also opening a little bit more of my knowledge on more of local culture as well.
Where are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico, ah. Bienvenido. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's it.